What's going on, traders? We're back with another video. I know I usually don't upload on like the middle of the week. I usually only do the Sunday forecast now, but I wanted to upload a little video talking about how I'm changing my mindset. Um, it's not. I mean, it is a big change, but it's not. It's still essentially. It's very similar. So I just want to explain to you guys something that just been thinking about and looking at on the charts. And if you've been watching my last couple videos that I've done, I've been implementing fundamentals into all my analysis, and it kind of just gives confidence in taking trades. It gives you a direction. The one thing, I mean, I'm pretty new at it, so this is only my second week actually using fundamentals. But one thing that I'm imagining is gonna happen is, let's just say price is trending down, right? And let's just say that this is the euro US dollar. Let's just say the euro is weak against the US dollar. Like right here, the euro and the United States are 6 and 5, so they're both weak. But let's just say they weren't, and the euro was obviously way weaker than US dollar. Then when price gets down into here, there's my drawing tools. There it is. So then if you have this demand zone drawn out, and you know what, like I don't mind that as a buying opportunity. If I'm gonna buy anywhere, if price is coming down, if I'm gonna buy anywhere, it's most likely gonna be here, and I agree with that. Um, so one thing that might make you hesitate, right, is looking at the fundamentals. If the euro is still, let's just follow my mouse. If the news is bad, the news is bad. The euro news is still bad. The euro news is still bad. The U.S. is still strong. Then when price gets to this demand zone, like, are you really gonna trust that buyers will start picking it up? Like, I get that it's a line and that's demand. Like, I totally understand that, and I agree with it to an extent. But I'm hoping that the fundamentals can kind of help. Maybe this is a good area to just look for a quick scalp, like, because I'm sure buyers will be picking up this in this area, and you can see price didn't just move down, like, no problem. It had hesitated here. As you can see with this wick here, price did try to push out of here. You might have even, this is a really far back. I don't want to zoom into a smaller time frame because I'll lose it. But I bet you could even have gotten a scalp. Maybe if you're a scalper, which I'm trying not to do as much anymore, maybe regardless of the fundamentals, when price comes into a daily zone when you don't really want to be buying for the long term, maybe you can just scalp it. Use that daily zone as a structure of what you're going to be doing maybe for that couple days, scalping from that area. But just keep in mind, maybe like take your risk less because you're looking at the euro news and realizing the euro is still weak, regardless that it's in demand. It's still weak. Therefore, you're not really going to be wanting to look for a retracement back up to this supply or wherever you think your ultimate target might be. So that's the mindset that I'm going to be trying to implement now, is looking at the fundamentals, realizing maybe this daily demand isn't going to hold. But here's another thing. Let's just say prices, right here, obviously it's kind of consolidating. We don't know what was going to happen, right? I'm sure in a weekly pattern, weekly or monthly, it looks like or weekly probably. It probably looks like a flag or something like that, flag pattern. But let's just say the euro news gets weak here. It's bad, not looking good. And let's just say it's pushing down, but then let's just say some GDP quarter over quarter or any news comes out, and the euro is starting to look better fundamentally, but it's still trending down. Well, if the tables are turning here and the U.S. dollar is getting weaker and the euro is, if the fundamentals are changing, this demand zone might work out, and that might give you more confidence to take that zone long, maybe as a whole level or more than just a scalp, because you know that the news is changing. Because let's face it, like, if the euro is weak and it's trending down, regardless of the news, the euro could be looking strong. It still might trend down. The news doesn't always make the price go a certain way, right? It kind of just gives a general direction. So like I said, if the euro news starts to get better here, economic data comes out, it's looking good, then you know what, I'll have more confidence in this daily level. And you know what, I don't think there's anything wrong with implementing fundamentals into your trading. I know before I would say, oh, no fundamentals, just because that's what I was taught. I was always taught to, just make sure that you're not scalping on a big news day, or make sure, you know careful holding your position over the weekend because there's news coming out on a Monday, right? Just be aware of the news, not actually pay attention. Like, I'm not looking at the news. I'm into economics and stuff, like, so I do pay attention to that kind of stuff just because it's fun for me. How I don't know how weird that sounds, but so you don't have to be paying attention to like that, but just paying attention to the data and like what countries are doing what, and just learning about what GDP is, and learn about interest rates, inflation, all that stuff, and just kind of correlate it all to the charts. So I hope that made sense. If that made sense, let me know in the comments below. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling off and sounding like an idiot, but because here's the thing. I'm sure you could have found multiple demand zones. Like, this is kind of tested. Kind of one there. It's not bad. We'll just mark these out. I mean, obviously we looked. I don't remember. Maybe we'll see if these zones. I don't think they held forever, but we'll see. So yeah, you had your reaction off this one. Didn't work. Delete. Tried your next one. Maybe you had a good trade in there. Maybe you got like a 4-hour confirmation or 1 hour. You got a nice move away. Maybe you had a great trade there, and that's totally fine. But ultimately it failed, right? And that's another thing I wanted to bring up too, which might make this video make more sense to you guys, is I'm changing my mindset to be more like a longer term trader. And this is what I wanted to all tie in. This is the important message of the video. I'm looking to be more longer term. I'm looking to hold positions for a while, and I'm gonna try to like, I've always been trying to pick tops and bottoms. Like, let's just say just one pair. Let's just say, oh, price is coming down here. Well, this supply broke this demand right there, so I'm gonna try to short right here. And in this instance, it worked. Like, oh, you could try to trade both supply and demand. But the thing my mindset that I'm trying to change is, if the euro news is weak, I'm not even gonna be buying down here. Not at all. Maybe one day if I get better at this, maybe I can implement that, but that's what I'm going to change, because then you're just going to get hammered trying to pick these tops and bottoms, right? Like, there's a nice extreme, took out this, trend down, took the trend line out, a lot of supply. What happened? Got blown right through. You had a reaction off of it here, as you can see. Yeah, the approach wasn't great. As you can see, price moved even lower than that, and look at that, right? So what if you're just shorting the euro this whole time? What if this, I don't know, I'm new at fundamentals, but I'm almost positive that the euro must have been weaker than the US dollar in this current time, according to the economic data, because it's pretty clear, right? Like, it's on a downtrend. Why would, if investors and countries buying bonds, and investing in currency, if they thought that the euro was weak, why would they be buying? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So clearly here, yeah, you could day trade it, and like, you can still do it. I'm not saying you can't trade both the supply and demand. I'm just saying, I'm just changing my mindset. I'm letting you guys know where I'm coming from, and I'm changing my mindset to just try to have a direction based on the fundamental news. And then maybe right here, the news changed. Maybe right here, how long is this period? I don't even know how to do that. Here to there. That's 43 days. So like a month and a half. Maybe for a month and a half, the euro had some positive news. That gave it a little bit of a rally, but ultimately it pushed back down. So essentially, I'm just changing my whole frame, my whole mindset. I'm still using supply and demand. I will always use supply and demand. I don't think I will ever go back to not using supply and demand, because clearly it does work, but I don't think it's a big deal to implement fundamentals into your trading. I think it's quite important. Obviously I'm new at it, but just from the confidence that I've gained, maybe it's blind confidence, I don't know, it's really seemed to help at least pull the trigger. Because if you're trying to buy at every demand zone here, yeah, you do get the ones that work. Oh shit. And I'm not saying that they don't work. Look how well that worked right there, right? Demand at the extreme. Had a nice move away. Like I said, you get a 1 hour confirmation in there. It's a nice trade. But also another thing I want to bring up is if you go back and watch my Canadian Swiss franc trade that I'm still in, I just took a daily level based on fundamentals. I found the nearest daily level, price retraced back into it. I split up my position. I didn't get filled on the one, but what I'm going to start doing is just splitting up my position so I can get entered here just in case it takes off without me, entered there. You had a nice little trade. But if you're entering in the whole daily like I plan on doing, then the move away is not that great. So that's why I'm going to be using the fundamentals to keep a direction, so that maybe trying to find a zone right here. Let's just say you took this level right here, right? You notice the euro is weak. The euro is still weak all the way down here. Took this level. Maybe you took profits off here. Maybe you took more profits off here, but you had just like, I don't even know, a quarter of your position still running with, let's just say, your stop loss. You just keep moving your stop loss here. Well, look at that. Your quarter position is making you a ton of money. That's my plan. I want to try to make these big moves by just, obviously I'm going to be taking profit. I'm not going to hold on to all my profit and potentially risk losing it all. I'm going to be taking profit, but my goal is to essentially just be an investor type trader and invest and take profits off along the way based on fundamentals. So I hope that worked out. Alright, sorry. I hope that made sense. If it didn't make any sense, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd really appreciate your feedback on this. And if you guys don't want to do this, I totally understand. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I'm just saying what I'm doing, and I like to be as open and honest as I can with you guys, because I feel like that's very important as somebody who's on YouTube showing what he's up to and what he's doing. So alright guys, that's pretty much it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little extra video. Take care.